The Formula One season arrives in Imola for another edition of the Italian Grand Prix. And behind the scenes, there is already plenty of excitement surrounding events that promise to define this round. Now that the championship begins its journey through the European continent, several teams are expected to debut updates aimed at closing the current performance gap to McLaren. But there is an even more delicate issue. Recent statements by Stefano Domenicali have raised the possibility that this may be Imola's farewell from the Formula One calendar. In light of this, what can we expect from this weekend in Italian territory? And will weather conditions play a decisive role? It is undeniable that Imola holds a historic tradition among European circuits, and this year, we will witness a real festival of technical innovations by the team, all aiming to match McLaren's performance. The weather, in turn, should partially cooperate. Forecasts suggest that Friday and Saturday sessions will take place under stable conditions, but Sunday brings an uncertain scenario, with scattered showers expected throughout the day. In this context, car setups and adjustments for wet conditions could significantly alter the outcome of the race. Before diving into the team's updates and the future of Imola, it is worth mentioning that this will mark the debut of Pirelli's new softest tire for the 2025 season, the C6 compound. The Italian supplier hopes to encourage two-stop strategies through this tire, which was initially designed for urban tracks. Imola's surface is considered suitable for this compound, and expectations are high that Pirelli will avoid a repeat of the fiasco from 2018, when the Hypersoft tire made its debut in Monaco and was never used again. Turning to technical updates, Red Bull emerges as one of the most motivated teams to close the performance gap. Insider information suggests the team has made significant changes to the design of the RB21 side air intakes as part of a broader upgrade package aimed at bringing the team back into championship contention. Internally, this evolution is considered crucial for the team's aspirations in 2025. In this context, Imola will serve as a barometer to assess whether Max Verstappen can remain in the title fight. The reality is that things have not been easy for the Dutch driver, especially after missing the podium in Miami, which raised concerns about the potential activation of his contract clause during the mid-season break. Still, the current focus is on how this new aerodynamic concept might help him better understand the car's behavior and unlock greater performance. One of the key areas receiving attention is the underside of the car, where Red Bull is implementing new vertical airflow guides. These changes should allow better airflow under the floor, potentially enhancing both ground effect and overall aerodynamic downforce. Tracks with higher technical demands and greater downforce requirements, like Imola, have been a considerable challenge for the RB21, and this round presents a perfect opportunity to detect real improvement. Ferrari also intends to introduce upgrades, but with less boldness than originally expected. The initial plan to debut a new rear suspension system to address instability issues appears unlikely to materialize. Fred Vasseur has shown reservations about the effectiveness of such upgrades, believing that the team still lacks a full understanding of the car's behavior and that isolated changes will not solve the core problem. During a recent interview, Vasseur acknowledged that improvements are coming, but insisted that Ferrari's performance struggles go beyond upgrades and are tied to the difficulty of finding a proper balance for the current car. He mentioned small steps for Imola and another phase in Barcelona, but emphasized that the main goal is to achieve a more consistent setup. Imola should be more favorable to Ferrari than Miami, which presented challenges in slow corners and on raised curbs. The biggest obstacle, however, was tire management, something that will also require attention this weekend. Expectations are not as high as one might imagine, especially considering that Mercedes is also bringing its own set of updates. This complicates the scenario for the Maranello-based team, which started the year aiming to challenge McLaren for the lead, but ended up falling behind to the point of not even being the second fastest team on the grid. Mercedes, on the other hand, is enjoying a moment of optimism, mainly due to the emergence of Andrea Kimi Antonelli. George Russell, meanwhile, has shown consistency, finishing in the top 5 in every official session so far. With technical improvements and a determined team, the Germans believe they can fight for the championship, especially after the Barcelona round. But the first practical test of these developments will take place now. In Imola, team principal Toto Wolff commented on the beginning of the European phase and pointed out that 1/4 of the season is already completed. He believes there has been progress compared to last year, with the W16 showing better balance than its predecessor. According to him, the goal now is to achieve victories in this new stretch of the calendar, and the engineers in Brackley have been working intensively to make that happen, bringing several updates for the upcoming races. Another point drawing attention is Antonelli's home debut in front of the Italian crowd. His performance during the sprint qualifying session in Miami, where he secured pole position, indicates that the young driver is not here to simply play a supporting role. Expectations are high to see how he will perform with the newly implemented upgrades. However, a concerning topic among fans is the potential removal of Imola from the calendar starting in 2026. Stefano Domenicali has publicly addressed this possibility, stating that the growing demand for new events, especially on street circuits, makes it increasingly difficult to maintain 2 races in the same country. Negotiations include potential races in Rwanda and Thailand, along with the already confirmed addition of the Madrid Grand Prix. With this scenario, Imola may be relegated to a rotation system or even fully excluded from the championship, a move that would certainly disappoint many fans given the circuit's historical importance and the effort made to host 2 races back in 2020, during the peak of the pandemic. It is hard to imagine a future where both Imola and Monza remain on the calendar, especially since Monza has extended its contract through the year 2031. Domenicali made it clear that Italy will always play a vital role in the sport, but maintaining 2 Grand Prix events in an increasingly competitive global landscape will be a challenge. Still, the weekend in Imola offers plenty of action for viewers. One of the highlights is the return of Franco Colapinto, who will now be racing in Alpine colors. The Argentine driver has a 5-race deal and is determined to score points right from the start. There is significant pressure surrounding Alpine's second seat, especially with recent rumors linking Sergio Pérez to that spot starting in 2026. Colapinto has already shown what he is capable of, for better or worse. If he can stay focused on consistency and avoid errors like those at the end of 2024, when he was driving for Williams, he may solidify his place. Otherwise, a difficult conversation with team boss Flavio Briatore is likely. One final hot topic at this Grand Prix will be McLaren's tire management. Rumors have surfaced that the team is using phase change materials, also known as PCMs, to help regulate tire temperatures. If this theory is confirmed, it remains unclear whether other teams will adopt the same solution. But one thing is certain: the International Automobile Federation will launch a thorough investigation. If any irregularities are found, the governing body is expected to intervene to level the playing field. Lastly, it will be fascinating to follow the internal battle between Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. So far, Piastri leads the tally with 6 wins to Norris's 5, and the debate over who is McLaren's #1 driver will only intensify in the coming round. So, which of these storylines are you most excited to follow during the Imola Grand Prix? And more importantly, could this really be the last race we witness at this legendary track? Share your thoughts in the comments, and then click on the video currently appearing on your screen.